4+ decades. That's how long it's been since the last truly revolutionary disruptive memory technology was invented. But that's about to change.
The quest for getting data closer to the CPU or solving the problem of the data and the CPU not always being together has been around since the origination of computing, since von Neumann originally did some of his work.
Probably the last real breakthrough in memory storage, if I was to characterize it, would have been in the early 70s. I mean, if you look at the three main kinds of memory that exist today, the predecessor of flash was really the UV-proms that were developed in that time period. DRAM was developed in the late 60s, and it still is fundamentally the same. Really nothing substantially new has really occurred since that time period.
All the while, data growth is exploding, roughly doubling every 2 years. And those massive volumes of data must not only be stored, but analyzed to extract meaning, value, and insight.
We all know that there's more and more data in the world. And the more data that there is, the more processing you're going to want to do on that data.
Faster storage is important to computing because computing is done on data and data is put in storage. The longer it takes to get to that data, the slower the computing goes.
So high-performance computing has always been very data-hungry, and the larger the data sets we can handle for HPC applications, the better science we're going to be able to do.
But therein lies the problem. Even today's fastest storage memory is roughly 10,000 times slower than the fastest CPU memory, resulting in a performance-crushing penalty each time data is accessed from storage. We desperately need faster storage memory.
Computer architecture from its days of von Neumann hasn't changed significantly, in the sense that it still has the same basic components.
There are a bunch of memory technologies in a computer. All the way from registers in a CPU. There are actually 3 levels of cache in a CPU die itself, where some of the levels are closer and more expensive and faster, and then they get bigger and a little bit farther away from even inside the chip, there's close and far. And then you get off the chip, and today you have DRAM, and then you have NAND SSDs, and then you could have hard drives also that are even farther away.
So we want to get as much of the data as close to the CPU as we possibly can. And if we can get that data to be faster, then the CPU waits less for that data.
So there are boundless opportunities for a memory technology that is very cheap and provides a performance advantage versus current solutions on the market.
Well, the perfect memory would be cheap. That'd be the primary. It'd be fast. And then if it was able to retain data without power or be non-volatile, that would make it the holy grail of memory.
For decades, engineers around the globe, including multiple teams at Intel, have been racing to design that next breakthrough memory technology. Memory that is fast, inexpensive, and non-volatile. Many have questioned whether it's even possible. But now, Intel engineers have realized that breakthrough with 3D XPoint.
3D XPoint is going to bring a lot of exciting capability. It really starts to marry the worlds of memory and storage together.
So with 3D XPoint, we can really have the 3 values that's most valuable both out of DRAM and out of the solid-state drives. So we can take what was previously multiple layers of the memory hierarchy and concatenate them down into essentially just one layer.
And so for the first time, the 3D XPoint technology will allow you to combine both memory and storage into one memory device.
You have something that's big enough and cheap enough to use as storage, and you have something that's fast enough to use as memory.
The attributes of having a low-cost memory comparable to NAND with the performance attributes of DRAM being non-volatile at the same time, that's kind of been the holy grail of the memory industry, looking for the universal memory.
3D XPoint technology will solve one of the fundamental computing bottlenecks we have. It is 10x or greater the density of today's traditional DRAM, or it's 500 times faster than today's traditional storage.
With 3D XPoint technology, the performance that it delivers, it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime sort of thing. I mean, it's literally, this hasn't come by in several decades.
It really is going to unleash software designers, system designers, into new systems and new capabilities that we don't even understand yet.
Well, Intel's new memory technology comes close to being the holy grail of memory. It's cheaper than DRAM, it's way faster than NAND, and it's non-volatile, so it's getting pretty close to that ideal memory.